Hey, welcome back to another episode of Rocking and Metabolism. My name is Katie Gonzalez. I'm from the Dominican Republic. If you know and understand me at any point, please feel free to let me know. I'm so excited to introduce you today to Jill Brown. She is amazing. Welcome, Jill.
Hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, I've been promising you we would do this, so here I am. Ask your questions. Let's see how many of your followers we can help.
Okay. Can you tell us your story and what motivated you to get into the work that you're currently doing right now?
Yeah, so
Before
what
I
I
get
am is I'm a fitness and nutrition coach, and I've been in the fitness industry for 30 years. I'm a little bit older than you. I'm 55 now. And I got started because I was a very hyperactive little kid who hated to eat. And so when I did eat, I ate just nothing but junk food. And my mom fed me nothing but junk food, processed food, fast food. There was no cooking going on in the house. It was McDonald's and pizza and burgers and fried chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken. So I had a really unhealthy diet, lots and lots of like sugar laden cereal. So as I started to grow up, I gained a lot of weight because all I ate was processed sugary junk food. And I thought, and I felt lousy and I looked older, it was terrible. And by the time I was graduating college, I had gained maybe 25, 30 pounds. And I'm not a big person. If you go to my Instagram or any of my social media, I'm pretty petite. But I was definitely not petite back in those years. And my grandmother was very interested in nutrition, like just as a layperson. She loved reading about vitamins and nutrients and minerals. And she was from the old country in Europe, and she, liked doing homeopathic things. So she's the person who got me interested in nutrition. And I never really lived with my father. He left when I was very young, but he was very athletic, and I developed that gene from him. And there is actually a gene for athleticism and muscle growth. So people who tend to get very defined muscles, there's a gene for that. You can check your DNA. And then there's like bunch of genes for obesity. There's a bunch of genes for, all these weird things you would never think about. So I did have a gene for athleticism and muscle growth, but I also had a bunch of genes for obesity. So I gained weight very, very easily. And so when I graduated college and I should have been in great shape, I was in terrible shape. I went to the gym when I graduated college. I said, I need to take this weight off. I feel lousy. I felt terrible. If you think I ate bad with my family, you should see how bad I ate when I had to live on my own. It was even worse. It was even worse because I was broke ass, and eating nothing but junk food. So it was not a good look. Anyway, so I went to the gym, and you get a free session as you always do when you join a gym. And the guy said, "Oh, you're going to lift these weights, and you're going to do these. You're going to do 3 sets of this, 3 sets of this." And then he says, "Now for cardio, you're going to get on this machine." Now I'm a bit older than you, and there was a machine that was called the PT 1000. I will never forget it. It was the first Stairmaster ever invented. And he said, "You're going to do this 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week." And I could not do 5 minutes of cardio. That's how bad a shape I was in. I couldn't do 5 minutes of cardio. So right then and there, Katie, I said, life is going to turn around. I cannot live like this. And so I was working out, working out, working out. I had a job in the city. I'm from Queens. I don't know if you knew that. I'm from Queens. So I worked in Manhattan, in Midtown, from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Got on the train, jumped in my car, drove out to Long Island, and then I started going to the gym at night after work, like 3 times a week. And then I worked really, really hard. The manager at the gym noticed, and he said, "Hey, we'll pay for you to get certified if you'll teach here." I said, "What a dream come true." So that's what I did. I went to school for film and for production. That's why I moved to LA. But my passion was fitness, And over the years, what my side hustle was teaching fitness and being interested in nutrition, that was my side hustle. That became my main hustle. And then all of the media work and all the film stuff that I went to school for, that's now my side hustle. Doing social media,
Amazing.
shooting videos. Yeah. So everything, like I said, this is going to be a 180. And I decided that, like the year after college, and that's what I did. So that's how I wound up in the industry. And I'm 30 years later, 35 years later, I'm still doing that.
Amazing, Jill. Can you talk about like metabolism, how everybody says broken? Can you tell us a little bit about more, women's, like hormones
Yeah,
and
so
everything?
you said you wanted to talk to me about your metabolism. Well, first of all, I'm an expert. So about 12 years ago, I realized that you can't out exercise a bad diet. And so everything is going to come down to nutrition. You always see posts from, all of the legit nutritionists and doctors. And then you also see it from certain influencers, the ones who are a little more science minded, that you can't out train a bad diet, and that it's about 75 to 80% nutrition that's going to get you to your weight loss and metabolism goals, and about 20 to 25% is going to be your workout routine. And so you'll notice sometime after 35 years old that if you haven't been on the right workout program yet, that you can't just keep exercising and exercising and exercising to undo the bad diet. So, yes, you need to exercise, but that is secondary of importance to your eating. And the two combined is what's going to affect your metabolism. So, I'm an expert on intermittent fasting. One of my many certifications in nutrition and health coaching, in addition to my dozens of fitness certifications, is in intermittent fasting. And I'm a big believer that intermittent fasting can definitely help with people's metabolism, because you're going to be eating in a more compressed time during the day, and that's going to give your body more time to process and digest the rest of the food. So a lot of people used to think, like when I was new in the industry, we used to think, oh, we have to eat lots of small meals. And that's a very old school way of thinking. Lots of small meals throughout the day is going to stoke our metabolism. And they found in more recent years that that's absolutely not true. Eating more meals throughout the day is not any better than just eating all of your meals in a smaller in a smaller segment of time. So I try to get people to do some sort of intermittent fasting. I like people to start off with 12 hours of having no calories, right? No food, no calories, not even branched chain amino acids. There are certain things, even if there are no calories, that might break a fast. So you just want to stay away just in case. And you want to give yourself 12 to 14 hours of no calories, just water, maybe some tea with no sweeteners, maybe some stevia, but no sweeteners, caloric sweeteners, no branched chain amino acids, and maybe black coffee and water. Club soda is fine, flavored water is fine, as long as it doesn't have like a sweetener in it that might break a fast. They're not 100% sure which ones they are, but definitely just no calories for 12 to 14 hours. And then when you get that done, get that down pat, then you can start working towards the more popular methods, which are 16 hours. So you asked me, do I have a free offer for your audience? And I do have a book called Getting Started with Intermittent Fasting. And it's just, and using exercise in addition to intermittent fasting is another good way to get your metabolism revved up. So it's the opposite of what we used to think. Now, as far as metabolism goes, people always say this to me. They go, oh, it's my hormones. It's my hormones. It's my hormones. And it's not true. There is no evidence. You go ahead and look for it. You will not find a scientific study published in a research peer-reviewed journal that will show you that it is your metabolism that is being affected by your hormones. Very, very slight. Nothing. If you gained 15 pounds and you blamed it on estrogen or a lack of testosterone, not so much. The most recent research on that shows that it's your lifestyle. So, what affects your metabolism? Stop blaming it, ladies, on your hormones, because maybe that much is coming from hormonal changes. And here's how it works. When your estrogen levels get all fluctuated or you're under a lot of stress, stress causes a hormone release of cortisol. Also, you can release adrenaline and norepinephrine, so the things that make you really hyped up. And when your cortisol levels are up, another hormone gets triggered, which is insulin. And then insulin comes in, and when insulin spikes up like this, anyone who's diabetic or deals with diabetes knows this. Your insulin spikes up, and if something goes up that fast, then it also comes down that fast. Much better if insulin, a hormone, it's also one of the fat storage hormones. If insulin goes up like this, it'll come down like this. If insulin goes up like this, it'll also come down like this. And when it comes down, it triggers another hormone that makes you hungry. A couple of them that make you hungry. So what happens is it's more about the lifestyle. The foods that you're choosing that are causing you to be hungrier, lack of sleep also triggers your hunger hormones. Stress also triggers your hunger hormones. So all these hormones get dysregulated, but it's not the ones you've been blaming it on. It's not the female hormones. That much is from the female hormones. Everything else is coming from your lifestyle choices affecting hormones you didn't even know about. And
Wow.
that's what affects our metabolism. So why does hunger affect our metabolism? It makes you make poor food choices. So you might eat some extra, tortilla chips at the Mexican restaurant. I live in LA now, so that's where we go. That's where we go awry. We go off and make the chips and the guacamole and the salsa.
Mm.
Let's have those or the bread basket. It's the hunger, and then also eating too many nutrient dense foods. So what's affecting our hunger is thereby slowing down our metabolism because it's causing us to eat more, and then we get lazy and we lose motivation and we exercise less. So what's been shown recently, and this was published in the British Medical Journal probably 8 months ago now, you can find this. They did a study and they found that it's our lifestyle choices mostly that's affecting our weight gain as we get older. So we're exercising less because if you're a mom and you're busy with your kids, you're not taking as good care of yourself. You're not sleeping as well, causing hunger hormones. You're having some estrogen fluctuations, causing a trigger of hunger hormones. You're under stress, causing a trigger of hunger hormones. So we're making poor choices and we're not doing the right exercise. So can exercise affect your hormones? Yes, in a very positive way. So what we don't realize is that exercise and doing the right exercise, not too much, because too much exercise is a stress on the body. What did I say stress does? Stress causes an increase in hunger hormone, right? So we don't want to over exercise because that'll make you too hungry and crave some junky food. So we want to make sure that we're lifting weights. Ladies have to lift weights. The other reason why we gain weight aside from hormones is loss of muscle mass. And after the age of 30 or 35, I can even show you a chart of muscle loss. But after about the age of 30, 35, we really start to lose our muscle mass if we're not vigorously lifting weights to minimum 3 to 4 to 5 times a week. You got to be lifting weights. You want to do cardio too, because that's good for your heart health and good for just managing excess calories. But to keep your metabolism from slowing down too quickly, we need to maintain muscle mass. And some women will say, well, I weigh the same as I did in my teens or 20s, but my clothes don't fit the same. My skin's all flabby. I have no muscle tone, but I weigh the same. What is that? That's from losing muscle and gaining fat. So they balanced out, so the scale stays the same, but inside your body, your what we call body composition, the
Mhm.
percent of your body weight that's muscle and bone and brain and dense metabolically active tissue versus body fat. So there is where metabolism comes in. We need to lift weights as we get older because our muscle mass is dropping. By the time you're 50, it is like falling off a cliff. So if you don't start now, because it takes a while. Like it takes maybe a month and a half to 2 months, depending on how often you lift and how heavy you lift, weights, to build a pound of muscle. And that will help you burn a pound of fat. It's not going to be exactly even. Why do a lot of women hate lifting weights? Well, they might not know form. They might be uncomfortable at the gym. They might feel self conscious, but they also feel like they're going to get hurt, or they feel like they're going to get bulky. It's usually one of those two things. Or, like I said, the self-esteem. They walk into a gym, they feel judged, they don't feel like they're doing things right, in which case it's important to work with someone like me who's a coach or a personal trainer if you have one there at your gym. Even if it's just for 3 or 6 months or just 1 year, treat yourself to that, learn the proper form so you don't get hurt. But the important thing to remember is that as our muscle mass is declining, we are also slowing down our metabolism. So it's the confluence of loss of muscle and these other lifestyle changes, the stress, the lack of sleep, some fluctuations in estrogen, and the stress, which are all triggering different hormones that are causing you to make poor food choices, maybe eat a little more than you think. Over time, you start developing more cravings, and estrogen fluctuations can also cause cravings, and we don't realize it, so we eat a little bit more and eat a little bit more. And if you're not either doing very mindful watching what you eat, like your mom said, you got to watch what you eat, or you have to log your food. I have all my clients use an app, and I can follow them along on the app. They can friend me, and I can watch what they're eating, and they can ask me questions through the app. And that's what one of the techniques I use with my nutrition clients. And so I can be like, all right, I don't know if that was the best choice, or have you tried this instead of that? And I can make little suggestions to them. But yeah, so I'm a big advocate of doing some intermittent fasting. Weightlifting for women is especially important, and stop blaming estrogen. And it's all these other hormones that are slowing down your metabolism or making you gain weight. Now, one other thing, when people say that their metabolism is slowing down, yes, it could be because of the muscle loss, but also for those of you who go on lots of diets, I'm going to do this juice cleanse. Don't do juice fasts. That is my I do not let people do juice fasts. If you want to do a fast, talk to me about Prolon. That's the only one that I recommend because it's been clinically tested by some of the most famous researchers in this field, not in even nutrition, in longevity. So the only fast I let people do is Prolon, but you don't want to do a series or a long-term low-calorie diet, because what happens on a low-calorie diet is it also causes lots of muscle mass and triggers, guess what, hormone? More hunger hormones. So these low-calorie diets, when you finish, not only has your metabolism slowed down because you lost muscle mass, your metabolism has slowed down from doing low-calorie diets because your body goes into starvation mode. It doesn't go into starvation mode from short-term fasting, like intermittent fasting. It doesn't go into starvation mode at that point. It will if you're doing a 1,200 calorie a day diet for months. So it's going to make you lose muscle mass. When the diet is done or you can't do it anymore, you're going to be starving. So your body is going to be triggering these hormones telling you to eat, 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 and then you eat back all the calories and more, and also your metabolism is slowed down because it says, guess what? Katie only gives me 1,200 calories a day. I used to eat 2,000 calories a day before this damn diet she put me on. So when you were eating 2,000 calories a day, your metabolism was higher. Now, 3 months after a 1,200 calorie a day diet, your body's like, she doesn't feed me anymore. I have to conserve energy. So your metabolism slows down to conserve energy. And that is the story of metabolism. Hunger hormones causing you to eat more, loss of muscle mass from from not lifting weights and not doing enough resistance training, and then too many low calorie diets, going from one diet to the next, to the next, to the next. You lose weight, gain it all back. Lose weight, gain it all back. And each time it gets harder and harder and harder. And you say, I never want to frickin' diet again, because every time you do it, it gets harder because your body is saying, stop doing it. That's why it's harder. Your body is trying to get you to stop the craziness, stop the madness. I don't like it. It is not helping me. Your body is trying to tell you something, like a dog barking. Your dog is barking. You're like, shut up, Spot, Spot, down, shut up, shut up. And you're not listening to your dog. Meanwhile, there's somebody ransacking your house, stealing your, and you're telling the dog to shut up. That is your hunger hormone saying, feed me, feed me, feed me. If you're hungry all the time, you have done something to upset the hormonal balance in your body.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you,
That's it. Did
Juliet.
I do that in 20 minutes? You said 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it was 20 minutes.
I'm just in shock. Like I've been learning a lot. So thank you so much. I'm
Well, did you
just
have more? Did you have any questions on that? I'm happy to elucidate if you need.
yeah. Like I want to talk about. I know you were out of time. Like about craving. You mentioned craving. Like what are the things that we can do to stop craving sugar, especially me?
Yeah.
What
Okay. So the way to stop craving sugar is to eat more fiber, more fruit, more vegetables. So fruit and veg have fiber. And if you do have a sugar craving, what's very helpful there, talk to your doctor about it because it's a very potent supplement. It's an herb and you can get it online. You can get it, at the, at any nutrient or nutrition supplement store.
Mhm.
But it's called berberine. And what that will do is it won't curb the cravings, but it will lower your blood sugar. So if you do have a splurge and you do eat sugar, especially on I
Mhm.
thought I shut that off. I'm sorry.
It's
Um,
okay.
unless it was yours. I hope it was
It's
yours.
okay. That's okay.
But so you can try berberine, but check with your doctor if you're on diabetic medications or anything like that. You just want to double check, or if you buy it at like Walgreens or CVS, just ask the pharmacist. But it's over. It's just in the supplement section, and that helps lower blood sugar. And so when your blood sugar level goes, like I said, blood sugar goes up. So insulin says, I'm going up. It grabs the blood sugar and takes it out of your blood and puts it in places like your liver. That's good. Puts it in your muscles. If you have muscle, that's good. If you don't have muscle, it's going to fat. Right?
Wow.
These are your storage sites. This is where glycogen, which is the stored form of glucose, which is sugar, what sugar breaks down to in your bloodstream. You eat sugar or highly processed carbohydrates, breaks down to sugar, breaks down to glucose, and now glucose gets picked up by insulin, fat storage hormone, and the insulin takes it places to get it out of your bloodstream. And if it goes up fast, it comes down fast, and that triggers craving for more sugar. That's why when you eat sugar, you want more sugar. So if you want to cut some sugar cravings and you want to be able to intermittent fast, don't eat sugar for dessert. Don't eat sugar as the last thing you do when you go to bed because you're going to wake up in the morning and you're just going to want more sugar. Don't drink juice, especially on an empty stomach. It's going to make insulin do this, and then insulin do this, and then hunger do this. Hunger goes up and cravings go up. So you can try with every meal having a shot of apple cider vinegar, maybe in a little bit of in a cup of water or half a cup of water. I like it room temperature. You can try something called L-glutamine. It's an amino acid, so L-glutamine, and that helps cut sugar cravings. So those are two really simple natural ones that you can find at any supplement store, the apple cider vinegar. But also just eating fruit, because fruit has fructose, but it's bound in fiber. So remember I said fiber will help cut your cravings. So if you do have a craving for sugar, have a piece of fruit. Guess what? Fructose, which is the primary sugar that's in fruit, is there's different types of sugars. The one that most of our food breaks down to is glucose, but the one that's in fruit is called fructose, and some of that converts anyway. It's biochemistry, but But fructose in fruit, not juice, in the actual fruit is bound in fiber, and that will digest more slowly and it won't make insulin do this. What we want to avoid is a spike in glucose, which is followed by a spike in insulin, which is followed by a dip, which is followed by a craving. So that's what we need to do is avoid anything that's going to make our insulin spike. So I like the apple cider vinegar. I like L-glutamine, and if you have had sugar, to get it out of the body or to get it out of the bloodstream, I like to use berberine and just follow the instructions on the package. Again, it's completely natural. It comes from a plant, but you should check with your doctor because it's very strong.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Jill, for teaching us. I've been learning a lot today. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Also, exercise. Believe it or not, exercise helps cut cravings. But again, there's a fine line. Yeah, if you exercise too long, it'll make you hungrier. But you'll find if you experiment, if you do 30 minutes of brisk walking or
Hmm.
30 minutes of a online workout, I teach online workouts if anybody's interested that's following you. If they
Yeah.
want to try my online workouts for a month, I offer a 50% discount code. Really easy. And you can do my workouts. I have 30-minute workouts and full length 50-minute to hour workouts. Start off with 30-minute workouts and you'll see that your cravings go down and you're not hungry for a while. And then you can, as you get stronger, you can do more and more exercise, and then you'll find, oh, at about 45 minutes, maybe it's a little different for each person depending on the intensity of your workout, but somewhere around 45 minutes you're going to feel no cravings, no hunger for a while. Even if you're hungry before the workout, I promise you the workout will make that hunger go away and you'll be good for usually a couple of hours after. But again, you have to experiment and just sort of like, keep a log. Did a 30-minute workout, no hunger. Did a 45-minute workout, no hunger. Did a 90-minute workout. I would like to eat a horse right now. And so you just kind of have to see where that fine line is for you. I know for me, I can go 90 minutes and not be hungry. And then, yeah, after that I start getting hungry.
Wow, Jill. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for, wow, amazing, amazing
You're
information
welcome.
that you have.
All right. Well, if any
Okay.
of your followers have questions, they can reach out to me on social media if they want to try my workouts and make some muscle. Again, I'm 55 and muscle is the most important thing to me. It also helps you manage your blood sugar because more of the sugar that you eat goes into your muscle. So it's not if you have a lot of muscle and you do eat sugar, it's
Mhm.
not as much of a catastrophe as if you don't have much muscle and you mostly have body fat, not a lot of muscle, then that sugar goes right to the fat. You have
Mhm.
muscle, the sugar will actually first go to the muscle.
Well, thank you so much, Jill, for
You're
everything.
welcome.
And I appreciate you being here and teaching us.
All right, Katie, have a good one. Nice to
Okay,
meet
you
you.
too.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.